What's up, Lantern fans? It's the Emerald Enthusiast, the co-host of the Emerald Echo podcast. Here with a look at the DC Direct Blackest Night 2009 San Diego Comic-Con exclusive figure of Blue Lantern Hal Jordan. As promised, I'm back with another review of these Blackest Night convention exclusive Hal Jordan figures. I will be reviewing all of the Hal Jordan figures as well as the Sinestro White Lantern exclusive. But with no further ado, let's take a look at the package details of this figure now. Here's the front bottom of the packaging. This is a limited edition from San Diego Comic-Con, only 1,500 pieces made. And we're told here that the wearable Blue Lantern power ring is included. We get this product shot here on the front as well as the emotional spectrum motif in the background. We get another product shot here on the side. And on the back, we get this group shot of the 5 Hal Jordan convention exclusive figures that came out in 2009. Like the other figures in this series, we get this bubble on card packaging that has this wraparound flap that opens up to reveal the figure inside. On the inner flap, we get this brief bio of Hal Jordan as well as these other core logos. We get product shots over here of some of the figures available in the Blackest Night line from Series 1 and Series 2. I recently did a review of this crib figure, so make sure to check that out. And like the other figures in this series, we get the wearable ring down here. In the back is the personal power battery, as well as the base that, of course, has the Blue Lantern Corps logo on it. And now I think it's time to bust this figure out of the package and see what's inside. The Blue Lantern Corps peg base comes in its own little bubble. And if you've seen my other videos on this series, you know how much I appreciate these peg bases. This one is very reflective. Yeah, very nice looking. And the wearable Blue Lantern Corps ring is also in its own little bubble. Yeah, this looks really good. Like all of the others, it has this separation point at the back. So, you know, it's adjustable for any size of finger. See if I can get a closer shot here. Here's a close-up view of the ring. And you can actually see how good the sculpting is. You can see the raised portions on the symbol. So yeah, overall, this is just really excellent work by DC Direct. And here is the personal power battery. And I've said this on many occasions, these DC Direct personal power batteries are my favorite. I have yet to see a company do them as well as these were done at the time. You can see how reflective this is. The handle moves. You see that translucent plastic in the middle there. And of course, that gives the impression of energy within the battery. So yes, this is really a magnificent accessory. And here we see the Blue Lantern Hal Jordan out of the package and ready to rumble. I'm a huge fan of these figures, obviously, since I collected the entire line, and I do like this figure quite a lot. However, I do have a couple of gripes, one major gripe in particular. So let's go ahead and get a closer look at the loose details of this figure now. Let's have a look at the lower body now. And I really like this metallic blue paint that they used. You can see the light just dancing off of that. Good sculpting on the calf muscle, as well as you can even see the ankle there through the boot. So I certainly appreciate that. You can feel the edges of the boots here. Good sculpting on the quadriceps. Although I would have preferred the black sections of the uniform to be a little bit shinier. But that's a very minor complaint. We get a single peg joint at the knees. Now, the legs don't go very far back. So this, even for the time period, I really think that that could have been improved. We get this Y crotch. So there is really outstanding movement as far as the hips go, at least front and back. There isn't any movement out to the side. So I'd say that the lower body's a mixed bag, but it does skew towards the positive. Let's have a look at the torso now. And this is a reused body mold from the Green Lantern figure. The Blue Lantern Corps symbol is done very well here. Now, it's just deco. It's not a molded symbol, but I still think it's done very well. The abdominals look very good. Pectorals are sculpted very well. Actually, I've heard some people say that they feel like this is a little bit too muscular for Hal Jordan, but, you know, I think that comes down to artistic choice. This one's got a little sloppiness there, a little bit of extra blue paint. You can see the trapezius and the latissimus dorsi there. Now, I really do feel like this figure could have used one joint. You know, all of these figures could have used, you know, some kind of torso joint. But overall, I have to say that, you know, for what they were going for here, DC Direct did a pretty good job. Here's a close-up of the arms. And, of course, these are reused parts from the Green Lantern figure. So the biceps are sculpted well. There's that same weirdness that I talked about with the triceps, though, where I feel like they're a little elongated. The deltoids look really good. Good sculpting on the inner biceps. Certainly appreciate that. Here is the fist with the Green Lantern ring, and that looks really good. Of course, there is movement at the wrist. 360 degrees of rotation. Single jointed elbow. With this arm, you know, everything is pretty much the same. You can get his arms to go outward that far back. My main complaint about the arms is I feel like they got the hand positioning reversed. This is actually the gripping hand, the one with the Blue Lantern ring, and I really feel like that should have been the Green Lantern ring on this one. Since this is a Blue Lantern figure, that should have been the fist so he could wield the Blue Lantern ring. And here's a look at the Blue Lantern ring. As I've said in my other reviews of the figures in this series, I feel like the rings are a little undersized. The sculpting isn't awful. You can feel the edges of the ring, and it feels like something that's been slipped over the finger, but it certainly could have used a little more detail. Let's have a look at the head sculpt now, and in and of itself, this is a good head sculpt. Technically, it's a good head sculpt. I like the way that you can see the edges of the mask here and this blue metallic paint, of course. I like that they went with the white eyes. And the hair is very accurate to the way we see Hal Jordan portrayed in the comics. There's the back. You can get the head sculpt to look side to side. You can get it to go up a little bit. You can get him to look down just a little bit. Little bit of head pivoting. So, but my main issue here is with the expression on this figure. As you can see, this is a reused part from the Green Lantern figure. And for the Green Lantern figure, this expression really works. It's very stern, it's focused, and I think that works for a character who is running off of will. But for the Blue Lantern figure, I really feel like his face could have been a little bit more relaxed and a little more solemn. Here is the head sculpt on the White Lantern figure that came out the following year, and I really feel like DC Direct should have used something like this for the Blue Lantern figure. The expression should have been more optimistic to convey the concept of wielding hope. I certainly hope you have enjoyed this review. If so, please like, subscribe, and tell a friend to do the same. Stay tuned at the end of the video for some articulation shots, and also remember to catch me on the Multiverse Musings vidcast, available right here on YouTube. And I'll be back to the internet with more comic book related content soon. But until we meet again, this has been the Emerald Enthusiast, and thanks for watching.